Back into the Modelo Blue White Player Show. I am with Keith Goon-Conlon, and we are now joined with Penn State offensive tackle Anthony Donkoh. Anthony, congrats on the big win, man, going out to USC.
Appreciate it.
Good shit. Oh, excuse me. Good stuff. Sorry. It was just now. The fist bump was out there. Anyways, all right. Sorry to everybody listening there. Anyways, so, Donk, I got to ask, man, we just mentioned it. Obviously, you guys came away with a huge victory. I think some people are calling one of the biggest victories in a long time for Penn State, especially on the road.
Sure.
And coming away, dude, Drew doesn't get sacked once. What does that feel like when you go through a game and, you get to look back at the tape? And obviously, it is like the next day when you're watching the tape and you get to go in there with your head held high, knowing you guys did your job exactly correct. But what was it like just kind of experiencing all that?
It really shows like a testament to how hard we work and like the emphasis and like the little things that Trout like always push out and stuff like that. It's amazing not letting Drew like get sacked and let him be clean. And it showed in the game like how he turned it around and just went off in the second half and was able to do all the things that he did. And I'm just proud of us and how we performed too.
Can you talk to? Because we get inspired by like when your quarterback is fired up and like slinging it. Like, you feel that, don't you, would you say? Yeah. Like, does it get you a little inspired to, like, keep going and want to block for him even more? Like,
it's just super cool to see Drew, like, being able to open up and, like, always getting the first downs, like, when we need it in, like, clutch situations. I mean, like, it's just so motivating. I know a lot of the defensive guys were coming up to us, like, after we keep scoring and, like, just motivating and stuff. Like, you guys are doing a good job and we always got your back and stuff like that. And it's just, like, super motivating, like I said.
Yeah, man, I'd say, like, go ahead.
No, it's all right. I mean, I got to ask every offensive tackle, offensive lineman, you got to ask. You a run guy? You a pass guy? I mean, that's the ultimate question. I mean, what do you like? You like mashing dudes? I mean, what's the size? You say 336, but I'm like 338. I'm hiding a couple tons here. You know what I mean? We're built a little different. You know what I mean? You're up top. I'm in midsection. You know what I mean?
I actually lost a couple weight. I think I'm down to 318 now. But
okay, there you go.
I love running the ball. Like, yeah, super satisfying running the ball a lot.
I gotta ask, like, Illinois, what did that like? You guys just dominated them on the ground. I don't think there's a better feeling than that. Would you say?
No, I mean, like, it's cool getting to pass the ball and like go for a whole lot of passing yards, but like running the ball and like doing what we did against like just taking like a man's will like that and like, oh my god,
you're gonna make Goon tear up.
It's just something different.
You had me at hello.
It's just something different about it. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, we had the guys from the Fox Noon show comes on here a couple weeks ago, Mark Ingram, and he was like, dude, your offensive line is changing the game right now. Like, you guys aren't just going out there making blocks. You guys are going out there with ill intentions.
Yeah.
And he said they're trying to fold dudes. I mean, literally fold them backwards is what you guys are trying to do.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely amazing to watch and just keep doing it, man. Because like I said, defenses are going to start coming at you. Like you saw last week, they were not going to let you guys run on them. No. It just wasn't going to happen. And then Drew stepping up the way he did, and then you guys stepping up the way you did. I mean, it all worked out in the end. But, just be ready for that the rest of the year because it's going to be coming. And, but then if Drew starts picking people apart, you watch. They'll start dropping more people back, and then you guys are just going to be running roughshod all over everybody.
Exactly. No, you're right. When you are able to be multifaceted on an offense, you are able to do a lot of things. And especially, I got to ask you, with Andy Kotonicki's creativity, we have seen you all over the place. You, Venga, Ioane, just all over at wide receiver.
Have you played wide receiver in practice and fullback? I mean, if you let's like have a tryout and be, we could try that. Put him in receiver.
We always got to rep things out.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Is it fun though to be kind of moved around? And I feel like when that happens and you're playing in an offense that's creative and it's working, you kind of play inspired. You have more fun and you're able to do more things and to the opposing defense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, I have to ask you about this. We all know the Nick Singleton block that happened against Illinois a couple weeks ago where Nick Singleton pretty much decleated that defensive end that had probably a good 50, 60 pounds on Nicky. And you were the right tackle that was kind of just there. And it was like, so how the play works is Nick Singleton is supposed to kind of chip the defensive end just touch him a little bit to slow him down.
Knock him off his stride.
Knock him off his track. So Donk can then just go get hands on him and it's an easy block. What was going through your brain when he knocked him? I mean, his feet went over his head almost. Can you just take us through what was going through your brain when that happened?
The funny thing is like I forget, there was a clip in the NFL. I forget who the running back was, but he did the same thing to one of the defensive ends and cleaned him. And I was like, Nick, yo, anytime we get a chip, I need you to try doing something like that. And then he went out and he did that, and I was just in shock. I was like, yo, what? I was not expecting him to like just put this man on his back like the way he did. Mm-hmm. And then I was just like, should I jump on him? Should I not? And I was just like, I'm not going to jump on him because I see people get flags for it. So I was just like, put my hands on him, whatever. And then he proceeded to catch the ball and then run over to whoever there was in front of him and got the first down. I was like, yo, I had to chase him down. I was like, yo, Nick. I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, it is part of the 5 tool of being a running back.
Yeah.
And that is, well before you guys, there's a guy named here, Tony Hunt, played in the 05, 6, and 7 teams. And he was like, he was one of the top 10 rushers. But I was always like, dude, he doesn't get enough credit because of what he does blocking. And Larry Johnson Jr., when he was a running back here, dude, that dude had ill intent when he hit. His mindset was, they're trying to kill me every play, and I have a free shot at one of these guys. He's going to take it.
Yeah.
And he took it every time, man. No doubt about it, But, I mean, I played a lot of football in my lifetime, and every offensive line coach will tell you that is your best friend right there. You go give that guy a little pat in the butt right there and say thank you, because nothing slows a defensive end down more than something like that.
It makes them scared.
Absolutely. They're like, where the hell did that come from? I saw it, but whoa. And you're just like, what's up, dude? Hey, come on, man. You're helping them off the ground. Like, sorry about that.
The rest of that game, that rush is
just absolutely.
It's just a little slower. Just a little scared. Just making sure that doesn't happen again.
It makes your life that much easier, man. Yeah. If they're sitting there, if their head's on a swivel looking for guys who are going to start popping from the sides, your game's easy, man.
It is. And you talk about, playing with some really talented guys. We got to talk about Tyler Warren. And you being the right tackle, you obviously get to play next to him a lot. What has it been like to watch? I mean, obviously, when you already got here, he was already pretty solidified. Yep. But I mean, to watch him just take over games now, what has that been like? And obviously, I think something that really goes underrated with Tyler Warren is his blocking ability. Yes. And you get to be on combo blocks with him. What is all that like, seeing Tyler Warren?
Oh my gosh, like just watching him play is so exciting. Like when he decided to come back, like his whole entire demeanor that he took this year has been completely different. And like his camp was amazing, what he did in camp, and it's just his intent, and it's just like showing and paying dividends to like when we go out and stuff like that. Just watching him like ball out, catching the ball, and again like blocking wise, I mean he's an insane blocker, just moving these DNs, helping me out too, on our combo boxes and stuff like that. And it's just super impressive to watch him do what he do. Like we call him like the best tight end in the country because he is the best tight end in the country, and he's doing amazing things.
He is. He's doing all
people
around.
Have no idea how much a good running tight end, a blocking tight end, what it could do. It sets the edge every time, and he's not just blocking people.
He's dominating.
He's dirting people, dude. He's flipping them. I mean, they have. I'm almost like. He's just so big, strong, and athletic, and he's out there. I mean, again, I played next to a guy like that where, like, half the time I'd be chasing him. Like, can I get a piece of this guy here? Like, dude, like, come on, give me a shot here, But you watch him, and he's a quiet assassin. Like you say, he's Psycho T. I mean, he's like, on the field, he's a complete maniac, but then off the field, he's like, hey, what's going on, man? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you guys doing for dinner? And you're like, dude, you just beat the crap out of like 13 dudes. Like, this is unbelievable.
Listen, I think Tyler, I can't believe I didn't bring this up when he was on. Many people do not know. I mean, Tyler has a very nice voice. He will break out in a show tune randomly, just out of nowhere. I swear to God, it's the most amazing thing.
We are telling some serious secrets out of school right now.
He is a unicorn. No. He likes it. He's a
what do
he's
you
a
show tunes like?
Start singing. He's a really talented singer. I swear. There's a lot of stuff that you don't know. We don't know about our guy. So this is why we do. That's why we do stuff like the play.
You know what show tunes are? It was like country music, or is it show tunes?
It's like all of it. It can be. It's like he'll go tunes. He'll go country. I mean, he'll just give you kind of a show.
Dude,
sorry, I don't need to get sidetracked.
Right,
but I mean, hey, he's setting records and stuff. We got to give him.
Our man crush on our tight end is pretty big right now. Don't tell him. Don't let him know.
Yeah.
He can sing too.
I know. What can Tyler Warren
This
not
guy's
do?
a unicorn.
Everything.
Snap, catch, all of it. Dog. All right. So I mean, we're talking about obviously fantastic win at USC, but we always go back on this show and kind of
Absolutely
talk high school recruitment, that type of thing. Let's just start out first with the kind of how did your high school experience go? When did you start to get recruited? When did you start to get offers? And when did Penn State really start to come into the mix?
So I really started getting recruited my sophomore year in high school. That's when I got my first offer from Virginia Tech. At the time, that was my favorite school because that was the area that I grew up in, and like Virginia's where I'm from. So
you're out west. I thought you were north.
I'm Northern Virginia, yeah. But
Okay.
I'm saying like just because like it's Virginia Tech, like I never liked UVA.
Okay.
I like Tech.
DMV. You're DMV technically, right?
Yeah,
Would you classify? Okay, DMV.
Yeah.
DMV is the best
I
area.
lived in Richmond for 6 years. I
You know.
I know.
Sorry, continue.
Oh, that's all right. No,
Yes.
no. I mean, Valtech. They were very, very similar to Penn State people. If you really know the people, the alums of Virginia Tech, a lot of people do a grad work here. A lot of Penn State people do grad work at Valtech. So very interchanging. The engineering thing,
Interesting.
big time.
Okay,
And then the turf grass management stuff.
gotcha. Yeah,
Between
we
those schools,
very
big,
good at
very
that, huh?
big.
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Well, okay. So, anyways,
that's all right.
That
No,
was good. That was good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
no, I didn't know if he was from. He said he was from the area, so Northern Virginia guy.
Yeah, you guys lived in the same area. It's a
Yeah,
good. It's
technically,
definitely. It's definitely a good area.
Richmond is southern Richmond, Southern Virginia.
Oh, you're way down there. I see
Way
why.
down there.
I see why
A
you.
whole-
Yeah,
a whole-
actually,
yeah,
you're
a
right.
whole-
Yeah,
a
we
whole
separated,
down.
we separated a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
Northern Virginia is a whole
Yeah, we're
different.
different, yeah, we're
that
different.
should be like it's like Western PA, Western New York, and New York City. It's a whole different world up there.
Okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha. That
basically a
makes
whole
sense.
different.
It is.
state, basically.
And then you go. Virginia's like ridiculous with how the state is broken. Western is very, very rural country, much like State College.
Yep.
And then you go out to the beach in that area, and that's like,
That's different. That's way different.
dude,
you know?
man, just players upon players like
Same
producing out there.
talent.
It's unbelievable
Talent
talent out there.
powerhouse.
Yep,
It is. Yeah.
everywhere, every school.
So back to your recruitment,
There
my
we
man.
All good. So
Yeah.
no UVA.
Yeah, no UVA, no.
UVA.
But like Penn State was always like my number 2 school. I always loved Penn State, just like the history and the culture behind it too. And I got my offer from Penn State my junior year in high school, and then I decided to come up for a visit after I got my offer, and then I came here and I fell in love with here. My mom I looked at my mom, I smiled, and I was
Parents.
I was like, I have to come here. Like this place is insane and stuff like that. And I was like, all right. And then a couple weeks passed, and then I committed here, and then I just shut down my recruitment like after that.
Nice.
So,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Now, was it NIL era then already? I mean, this is 2 years ago. So was there NIL money involved?
No, not for me.
Not
no.
yet?
No.
No, I think that's like fairly new now.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Oh,
kind of like
very
it was like just kind of last year the recruits started.
I'm interested to see
coming
how the
in.
recruiting works with that stuff. But I mean, yeah. So you visited Valtech. Was JC Price your recruiter,
No, he was
or
not.
was your O-line coach?
There was an online.
Okay.
But before,
JC was the D tackle, the D line coach I played with back in the day.
actually, you said who again?
JC Price.
Oh yeah, he was. I believe so. Yeah.
Mutant D tackle, man. Dude played about that far off the
Oh,
ground. I
God,
played
yeah,
the
yeah.
Senior Bowl with
My
him. I'm like,
bad,
how the
yeah.
hell am I supposed to block this thing? And it's like, that's high.
He's a good dude though.
Bad dude, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
But,
you got here and you fell for it, just like everybody else did. You got here and you're like, this is the greatest place in the world.
Yeah.
But you said the most important thing, and that your mom loved it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
Mom,
you're-
family. They all loved it.
because your official. I remember your official visit.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
It was.
There because you guys. I mean, we had a really good offensive line class. You, Alex Birchmeyer, Javen Williams, Chimney coming in. Yeah, really good group. And I do want to talk for a second. I know we kind of went back to recruitment, but I want to come back to a second for the offensive line room. And I'm just going to talk for a second about this because when I first got here, that was a group that kind of got trashed on. And then when there was a finger to point after a bad game, it went at the offensive line. I feel like where we're at now, it couldn't be further from that. And, you are a part of an offensive line room that has great pride in what they do every day. Can you just talk about number one, Philip Trautwein, number two, Nick Dawkins, the leadership in that room? I mean, you can't say Nick Dawkins. Let's start with Nick Dawkins. Like, what has he meant to you as a captain, as a leader, almost as an older brother, that type of thing? What has that been like to learn from Nick?
Oh my gosh, like I love him to death. Like Nick is an amazing person. Like I wish everybody could like get to meet and talk to him and like hang out with him because like he was just like spit out the most like knowledgeable. Like he's a knowledgeable guy. He's so freaking hilarious. Like
I've never seen someone that can be like the team clown, but also like the team captain,
I'm saying,
and also the motivator.
And
like all
like insane. Like he's like his own person. But like I love him that like the way he like motivates us as like a whole team, as like a unit and stuff like that for us to keep pushing. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. And then you don't really see, like you saying, like being all that, like there's not a lot of people that you can see that is going to be able to be like that versatile in how they do their stuff. But like the way he conducts himself is very impressive to say the least. I mean,
he definitely is a reason he is the team captain, man. And then talking about Coach Trautwein,
that's what I want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
he's built that room now,
dude.
Like Leonard just said, it was pretty bare for a while there. We could have produced 4 or 5 at a time and this and that, rotated 5 or 6 or 7, but now we might be 8, 9 deep right now.
We got dudes and we got a lot of depth, and that's something that Trout really emphasized. And I'll just tell you, I remember
a huge thing.
2020, we lost to Maryland. We were just talking about this earlier. It was a bad year. It was Trout's first year as the offensive line coach at Penn State. I'll never forget him calling me, and he was like, "Hey, we're going to get this thing right." That's all he said. He was like, "I'm sorry, but we're going to get this thing right. Believe me."
He probably said it that night, right?
And since then, he has, and you can attest to this. I think he's the hardest working coach I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh, like no doubt, no doubt.
He is just
crazy people, man. Crazy people.
Yeah,
always working. Always. Oh, man.
Yeah. No,
he's the hardest worker.
Like you see his mind working at all times. And you're like, Tyler, you gonna eat your dinner? He's like, start thinking about like blitzes and how to pick it up.
Yeah. No, he is always thinking about football and
like always like trying to make sure that we're getting everything fixed, making sure everybody's right and stuff like that. Like his attention to detail is like no other.
That's it, dude.
His like preparation from his preparation standpoint is like no other. It's impressive to see like how much work that he puts in and stuff like that. I mean, like he's like one of the last coaches out of the building every day, and because like he's sitting there writing notes, like he writes notes every practice, after every practice, for every practice, making sure we're prepared, making sure that we know like what we're going to see, making sure like we have our third down plan, our first and second down plan, making sure that we know like who we're going up against and like all that stuff, like just making sure that we're prepared enough for us to go out to the game and not be surprised and not be shocked.
That's an offensive line coach. That's what he has to do.
Yeah.
Because you're going to see the most changes and most, what he's doing. His hard work is paying off for you guys, but it's the attention to detail and the little things. The old man used to say, take care of little things, and the big things will just take care of themselves easily. That's the truest thing. But an offensive line, specifically offensive line, that's made. He's going to put you in predicaments, and he's going to show something to you, and you're going to see it on Saturday and be like, dude, I got this.
Yeah, easily.
And you're like, this is easy. Like, I always tell the story, like, my first game, my first start was against Maryland. I'm in the bathroom throwing up. Ooh, all scared and all. We score like 70 points. I'm like, this is pretty easy. But, like, my senior year, there's a kid next to me, Jimmy Nelson, who played linebacker. He was like my little brother's roommate. And he's sitting next to me at pregame meal, puking. So well coached that there's nothing that you're going to see out there that you have not seen or been taught to compete against. Yeah. And I said, everything happens in slow motion. I said, it's the weirdest thing in the world. Because it's not slow motion out there. It's fast. But it feels like slow motion because we're so well coached and so well prepared for those games. And the game, it just gets easy.
Yeah.
It's just so easy when you're prepared and you're confident that you are prepared, then you can't be beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, that's part of, and that's part of the reason why. And I think I can slightly attest to this too, of like me transitioning to a life away from football. Not only does Trout come in every day and it's about football and that stuff, but he gives you the tools to be a great man. He always talks about, I want you guys not only to be great football players, but great men, great husbands, great fathers, that type of thing. Like that is what he's instilling in the players, not only just the work ethic through football, but also just something to instill in you for the rest of your life. So he deserves a lot of credit for that.
Yep.
Now, the last person we have to touch on, this is coming. My man Frank Leonard, and anybody that doesn't.
This one's new to me here. I'm all ears here.
So Frank Leonard is a legendary coach. He was with Bill Belichick for a long time, scouting offensive linemen.
I know who you're talking
He's
about.
been around, And so he came in 2022, and he coached Trout when Trout was on the Rams. He was with him at Boston College, so he kind of came on as like almost an advisee assistant.
Correct.
Well, for the first year, there was specific rules that what he was labeled as a coach, he wasn't allowed to on the field coach.
Yes.
That has since basically been thrown out the window, and he is able to coach. So you hear him, I mean, just screaming in practice. I've never seen an old man have so much energy. But he loves you. He's like a classic, just Italian dude. He'll like yell at you. He'll say the most curse words ever, and then he'll come over and kiss you on the head. Give you a big kiss on the head.
That's the offensive line play in a nutshell, man.
It really is. So he has just so much knowledge to share. But I mean, being in a room with all of those guys together, I mean, it is definitely a blessing. And Penn State and Coach Franklin has done a great job, just I think putting the pieces around the team. When you think about the assistant coaches on our team, dude. I mean, you could just rattle them all off. They are killing it. They are killing it. Everybody. I think definitely Ty Howell deserves a huge shout out for what he's doing with the tight ends, just continually just pumping out elite guys. So it is.
Talk to, was it Leonard you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask him, does he have a mushroom shirt? Have you ever seen him wear a shirt that says shroom across of it? It's a yellow shirt that it's like a little psychedelic, says shrooms. So in the 80s and 90s, offensive line coaches in the NFL, they were known as the Mushroom Corporation.
Really?
Yeah, because hear me out here. Because offensive line coaches are like mushrooms. They're left in the dark. No one talks to them, and they smell like poop. So these offensive line coaches in the NFL used to have the mushroom shirts, and they all used to wear them. And that was that was the role of an offensive line coach. Like, no one's going to talk to you. You're going to go into the room. You're going to sit in the dark, and you're going to watch film. You're going to make it happen, and you're going to make the most of it. But no one's going to talk about you. No one's going to love you, and you smell like poop. That's the epitome and soul of an offensive line player and an offensive line coach. No one talks to you, but you don't want to be listened to. You just leave me alone, and you just go out and do your job. And that's the best part. Like I said earlier, the fact that no one knows everybody's names, it's perfect. Yeah. No one knows. No one talks about Shelp. All they talk about is our guys coming in 385 pounds in motion, just destroying defensive ends. Like, that's fine. You go have that fun all you want. Yeah. You five guys up front. You guys keep doing what you're doing, man. Absolutely killing it out there, making this team look big. Any football team goes as the offensive line goes. Yeah. I mean, you're sitting here talking to three mutants right here. And that is the thing. It's like every good football team, if you can find me a championship football team that had a horrible offensive line, I'll give you $1,000. Yeah. And it's never going to happen. It'll never happen. Never. And then you guys are the backbone of this team. You guys are sitting there saying you were saying the offensive line took a lot of crap back in the day. Because we had a lot of defensive linemen who they ran the locker room. But I bet you walk in that locker room right now, the offensive line's running it. And I guarantee you, Dog's running around with ripped out basketball rims, throwing them at people, telling people he's from Planet Lovetron, he's going to take care of them. You know what I mean? No, but I'm saying, offensive line is the heartbeat and the backbone of any football team. And keep doing what you're doing, man. You're making us all proud. We love it, Bubba.
Absolutely. Don, appreciate you coming on, man.
Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with the Modelo Blue White Player Show.